Some cars you should just never own, and if someone gives you the car, sell it or just leave it in a ditch because it's a fucking terrible vehicle. We're gonna start off with the classic V6 Charger or Challenger. They're pretty much the same shit. I'm not gonna go too much into it because I'm sure you already know why. It's a heavy ass muscle car with a V6 pushing like no power. A stock V6 Honda would get the fuck out of one of these. So you just look like a poser. But staying with like the whole Dodge theme, a Dodge Dart. Who sees this vehicle and be like, okay, let me buy it. The Dodge Dart is like a V6 Charger, but even fucking worse. Now, the Dart, I don't think is trying to be a muscle car, but it looks like a wannabe muscle car because he has like the Charger taillights. It's also an unreliable vehicle. A lot of American vehicles are fairly unreliable, so why would you want to get a car that looks like shit? Slow, unreliable, shitty interior? Like, it's just an awful car. Don't fucking own this vehicle under any reason. Now, the next car is a little controversial because some may say, oh, it's a good car, and some may say, you're right, leave that bitch in the ditch, and if you don't, you may end up in the ditch in that car. And I'm talking about the E92 335i. Now, the new ones, they're a little better, but the E92, it was BMW's first generation with a twin turbo sub ever. Of course, it being the first generation with that, it's going to have some major flaws, including overheating problems and being very unreliable, and sometimes the turbo is just blowing completely or whatever the case might be. Just this car is bringing you problems. If you want to pay to have problems guaranteed, you could buy this car. If you have the money and you don't mind the problems, you could build it to be a pretty decent car. But honestly, I would rather just get the M3 E92 if I was going to spend that type of money. The next vehicle is also somewhat controversial, a G35. I know you VQ owners are really going to get on me on this one. I'm like, oh my god, what do you mean? VQs are amazing. And let me be honest for a second. VQs are kind of decent. I will buy a 350Z, but a G35 is kind of like a cheap knockoff, like wannabe 350Z, and only like fucking actual threats to society, like menaces, true at heart, drives these vehicles. This vehicle, along with the very classic Nissan Altima that you're already well aware of. And that car would have made this list, but if you bought that car, at least people will fear you, so it has some benefits to it. But the G35, it's just like, why would you get a G35 when you can get a 350Z or a G37? Like, come on. Plus, it's the weaker V6 that gets gapped by a stock Honda Accord. I know a lot of you VQ owners like to praise how much power you have, especially over V6 Hondas. Where's the worst car to buy in your opinion? Going on the other side of the story, a very good car to buy is a 7th generation Honda Accord. And here's a video of my 7th generation Honda Accord.